Hi, this is Brian Van from Sport Bike Track Gear, sportbiketrackgear.com. Today we're going to talk about brake pads. With me here today I have Matthias Schaub from Spiegler Performance Parts USA. Spiegler Performance Parts is also the importer for Carbone Lorraine brake pads, and they come from
France.
Carbone Lorraine brake pads. What do we know about Carbone Lorraine brake pads? I'm going to do this like most other retailers would do. In 20 years, Carbone Lorraine has developed a universally recognized mastery in high performance. You guys know that's not how we do stuff here, okay? We're going to cover the different models that we offer, okay, for Carbone Lorraine. We're going to start with the rear brake pads, Matthias. Yep. This is super, works for street, works for track, right?
That's absolutely right. Sit-up metallic brake pad works for all purposes, basically.
You know, realistically, a street rider is going to go through a lot more of these than most of your racers because most of us are too scared to touch the rear brake lever anyways.
Yeah.
Got too many other things going on in our mind. Super high quality stuff here for the rear. Like you said, nice semi-metallic sintered high performance pad for the rear. That's easy. That's just a rear brake pad, right? Nobody worries about that too much. Now we've got a couple of different compounds here, okay? You guys all know that we do a lot of racing, a lot of track day riding here, so we talk about a lot of track stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff here that will cross over and do both street and racetrack. It's the Carbone Lorraine SBK series brake pad. Who would you recommend this compound pad to, Matthias?
I would recommend the SPK5 for the normal street rider on a sport bike like a GSXR R1, R6. And also for people who would like to take a track day with sportbiketrackgear.com and the sport bike track time. I'm sorry. They're good for the beginners and intermediate class. It's a very good brake pad and lasts long, does not damage the rotor, and it's also a sit-up metallic brake pad.
How does it work? Does it take a lot of heat to make these work?
No, it does not. You have basically braking power from the beginning when you roll off with your bike. And it works very well in the rain, in the cold, in the warm, on the track.
All pretty much the same.
It's a very high performance brake pad.
Now here's where it's going to get a little different than just, you know, reading some text. Well, these brake pads are made in 20 years of that stuff's all great. The SBK5 pads, him and I have both ridden on these brake pads, okay, under different conditions. What I notice with these pads, and it's pretty consistent with the whole Carbone Lorraine line, is that they're really easy to modulate. They still have tremendous braking power, okay, tremendous. But the way they come in, when I first get on the brake lever, I find they don't bite super hard real fast, so it keeps the motorcycle settled.
Well, that's correct. And
it's easier to control them, say, if I'm on the racetrack and I want to trail brake into a corner, or even on the street if you get yourself in a little trouble and you need to trail brake into a corner. These things are just smooth is probably the best word.
You control them basically with your hand. They don't upset your suspension, and it's just a very smooth application, and if you grab the brake lever harder, they will do the job.
Right, and see, smooth is fast. Whether you're on the street, on the track, and like I said, probably the biggest benefit these would offer on the street, we've all been into a corner too hot, you get yourself in a little trouble, and if you got a pad that's inconsistent or a little too much bite, or let's say just not enough, that's an issue. They're easy to use. It's a great product. Now let's move on to our favorite.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the race brake pad, okay? The C compound, the C44. Is there anybody noteworthy that rides these?
We have Robert Jensen since 3 years riding on those, and he has around about a dozen of track records here in North America. And also we have, not to forget about this, the Endurance World Championship. Carbone Lorraine has several World Championship titles. All the factory teams,
the
Suzuki
team
factory
typically
teams,
over there cleaning house
the
and the Endurance.
They really use those brake pads since I think 15 years roundabout. It's a very, very good race brake pad.
What's your? I mean, you use them.
I use them by myself.
What do you think? How do they work for you?
It's a perfect working brake pad. I think for the money what you buy it for, you get the best bang for the buck. It lasts very long. It does not upset the suspension. That's for me really the main point. You go into a turn, you're hard on the brakes, you hit it at first, and it's not diving in.
Right.
So it's not really upsetting the suspension. It's just fantastic brake pad.
And the end, the braking power is still, it's incredible. I've used a lot of different stuff. Each one of the pads works differently. Okay, there's no doubt about it, and that's really the point of this video. Is, you know, I just don't want you to read the text. Whatever, that doesn't help you. We want to talk and we want to tell you how they work for us. This is really one of my favorites because of the way it modulates. It's so much easier to use because it's not got that hard initial bite, and it doesn't get the motorcycle like up on its ear as soon as you touch the brakes. The harder you pull, the harder it breaks, and the initial bite is good, but it's very, very manageable. They don't require a lot of heat to work. They last a long time.
Yeah.
They're easy on the rotors, and the lasting a long time part, you need to understand too, that's relative to speed. You get Robbie on these brake pads, Mr. Jensen, he's probably going through some brakes. Rob's pretty
He does, but the amazing thing is he uses them until they're almost to the bare metal. This guy is just amazing. He's not wasting any material.
So he's actually wearing the brake pads out before he
wears
throws them out.
Yeah.
And I will say with some other brands, which I won't mention, still good products, that when you get them down closer to the backing plate, that is really interesting. They don't perform like they should, and to find out a guy like Jensen's using these things to the backing plate, that's pretty impressive. So there you have it, Carbone Lorraine brake pads. We broke them down for you. We've described how they work, and we're trying to help guide you to making the right brake pad choice for you.